There was a man who chose to sit in silence every morning for 27 days. Same hours, same place. No phone in his pocket, no affirmation playlist humming, no vision boards taped to the wall. He simply gazed into the stillness and smiled. His friends whispered that he was losing his ambition. His mentors worried he was falling behind. Yet on the 28th day, without a single email sent, without chasing leads, without launching any grand plan, 3 long-dreamed opportunities arrived uninvited in his inbox. Seemingly random, almost too easy. But was it random? What no one could see was that during those 27 mornings, this man was far from idle. He was quietly dismantling the inner noise that had jammed the signal of his life for years. He was loosening the grip of an identity built on constant doing, the belief that action alone defines worth, that more effort guarantees faster results. He was no longer performing for the universe or for anyone else. He was finally listening to the deep current of God's design that had been speaking beneath the clamor all along. Here's the truth few dare to say aloud. The living field that scientists call the quantum field and mystics recognize as the subtle fabric of creation is not primarily moved by what you do. It responds to something far more delicate and far more powerful. Most people miss this entirely. That is why they burn out, why they repeat the same timelines, why they follow every formula yet still feel disconnected, unfulfilled, unseen by the very source that sustains them. They are fluent in the language of action, but the field, and the God who breathed it into being, speaks only in frequency. And here is the twist. It isn't just any frequency. It is the vibration of who you are when no one is watching, when you're not trying to manifest, when you're not scripting dreams or scanning for signs. That is the moment when creation actually listens. In the language of quantum physics, this is coherence. Your body functions as a transmitter. Your thoughts carry electric charge. Your heart generates a magnetic field. Together they create a unique signature, a living broadcast of your inner state. It is not your wish list or your carefully chosen words that reach the field. It is the reality of your being. This can be unsettling. You may follow every step while unconsciously radiating the feeling that nothing works. You may script your dream life with perfect detail while your nervous system quietly broadcasts desperation. You may visualize abundance while your inner wiring still clings to survival. That hidden contradiction is what keeps the future from unfolding. This is not about blame. It is about precise awareness. For once you understand what the field and the God who sustains it actually hears, you stop wasting energy trying to convince it through effort. You begin to speak the only language it truly understands, embodiment. The man who sat in silence was anything but lazy. He was recalibrating. He was remembering what most of us forget in the frantic noise of trying to control life. You are not here to earn alignment. You are here to return to it. And that return cannot be faked. It can only be felt. Ironically, many people attempt to manifest with a language the field does not decode. Words, strategies, endless hustle, elaborate rituals. But the field is not logical. It is vibrational. It does not calculate what you do. It reflects the energy from which you do it. So let me gently ask, if all external efforts stopped today, would your inner energy still carry a magnetic pull strong enough to draw your future toward you? This is the hidden truth we will unfold here on Quantum Aligned. Because this is not about doing nothing. It is about becoming someone who no longer vibrates from lack, who no longer performs for manifestation, who no longer begs the field to deliver, but who simply embodies the version of self that the field and the creator of the field cannot ignore. By the end of this journey, you will no longer wonder why certain dreams remain distant. You will know exactly what signal you have been sending and how to shift it from static into symphony. But to see this clearly, we must go deeper. In the next part, we will uncover the reason why even sincere seekers sometimes fail to collapse timelines. You will learn how intentions in the field miscommunicate and how to realign without strain through emotional congruence, because the field is already listening, just not to what you assumed. And once you recognize what it truly hears, everything begins to move. You may have felt it before, that strange moment when everything around you appears perfect. You are disciplined, focused, organized, even optimistic, yet something inside resists. A quiet tension, an unspoken doubt, almost as if your own body is not convinced. That is the moment the quantum field tunes in, not to your plans or words, but to the deep, visceral energy you transmit. This is where meaning begins or unravels. Many imagine the universe as a parent, rewarding effort and punishing failure. But the field is not a parent, and God, who authored the field, does not operate on human transactions. This is not about moral scoring. It is about resonance. The divine design is mathematical and merciful. It mirrors the coherence you carry. The signal is always now. Neuroscience and quantum biology describe this as state-dependent encoding. Your body stores memories and expectations according to the emotional frequencies you repeat. So even if you visualize abundance, if you are emotionally rehearsing scarcity, the field will reflect scarcity back, not to punish you, but to mirror you. Imagine you walk into a room where a tuning fork vibrates at 432 Hz. If there is another fork tuned to that same pitch across the room, it will begin to resonate without being touched. No force, just harmony. This is exactly how manifestation operates. The field does not grant wishes. It responds to coherence, the harmony between your inner state and the living rhythm of creation. And in that harmony, the quiet presence of God moves without resistance. When your intention, emotion, and embodiment harmonize, you become a living broadcast tower. Everything attuned to that frequency begins to move toward you, not because you are pleading for it, but because you are already resonating with what God has woven into creation. Yet here is the paradox. The instant you strive to hold a high frequency, you have already slipped away from it. Trying is resistance. Wanting reveals absence. Performing hides insecurity. And the field, the very fabric of divine order, reads that signal instantly. This is why so many people plateau. They labor to manifest from the intellect while their bodies still carry the vibration of fear, separation, and lack. Their words say one thing, but the invisible electromagnetic field surrounding them tells a very different story. Picture this. Every morning you write in your journal, "I am abundant. I am aligned." Yet there's a tightness in your chest, a glance at the clock, a subtle waiting for proof that it's working. That tension is your true transmission. It is what the field hears. For while the conscious mind speaks in words, the subconscious, which drives nearly all of your energetic signals, speaks only through emotion. And emotion is magnetic. Think of it this way. Elevated emotion joined to clear intention forms the true formula for creation. Yet many people focus only on intention. They skip the emotional rehearsal. They declare desires while their feelings broadcast the opposite. It is like dialing the correct number, but whispering into the wrong phone. Here's where it gets wonderfully quantum. The field does not comprehend future tense. In the language of energy, there is no "I will." The field reflects only the state of now. If you are always in the act of becoming, you never truly arrive. If you are always reaching, you are continually signaling it is not here yet, and creation responds with perfect precision. There is more. Many people unconsciously use manifestation as a performance to feel safe. They doubt their own worth without achievements, so they chase results to prove value, never noticing that the chase itself radiates lack. This is the hidden trap. The quantum field, sustained by God's intelligent design, does not respond to your frantic effort. It responds to your energetic posture. If that posture is built on striving or earning, the outcome drifts farther away. So what's the shift? Move from performer to broadcaster. Stop proving, start transmitting. Stop acting as if, start embodying as is. The most powerful manifester is not the one with the most tools, but the one who needs the fewest, because their frequency speaks louder than their actions. Their coherence folds time, and creation, under God's order, cannot help but respond. In the next part of Quantum Align, we will explore the role of identity. Your self-concept, your emotional blueprint, is the deepest code to which the field responds. As you gently dissolve the identity that keeps broadcasting struggle, even pure intentions begin to translate into effortless resonance. Change the signal, and the field must echo it. But first, ask the question few consider. Who are you before you start manifesting? Not what you want, not what you visualize, but who you have unconsciously decided you are. That subtle, often hidden identity is the source code the quantum field recognizes. Not your dream list, not your affirmations, but the energetic assumption of self you carry into every room, every ritual, every breath. This is where manifestation becomes less about magic and more about spiritual architecture. Your frequency is not built during vision board sessions. It is shaped in your nervous system, in the stories you rehearse, in the emotional cycles you revisit, in the way you expect life, under God's care, to meet you before it even does. This is your vibrational identity, and it outweighs any technique. Consider this example. You can wake at 5, light candles, meditate for 45 minutes, and chant I am abundant 108 times. But if your body still carries the memory of being rejected, of hustling for love, of never feeling safe to be seen, your signal will be laced with contraction, not coherence. You will be doing everything from the identity of someone still trying to become, rather than someone who already knows their worth in the eyes of the Creator. This is the silent saboteur of manifestation, an identity wired for effort trying to speak the language of ease. The field, which hears only vibration, cannot translate that contradiction. It mirrors who you are, not what you perform. So, how does this identity form? From a quantum perspective, identity is not merely psychological. It is vibrational. Every thought you entertain, especially when joined to strong or repeated emotion, etches a neurochemical loop. Over time, that loop becomes familiar, and the brain, ever efficient, defaults to what it knows. This is what many call the familiar past, a state where the future simply repeats the past unconsciously. Yet identity is not only in the mind, it is embodied. It lives in the breath, the posture, the subtle muscle contractions that flicker when someone speaks your name. Your body remembers who you have been. Unless you interrupt that loop, you will keep manifesting not what you desire but what you are accustomed to being. This explains why even high vibration practices sometimes seem to stop working. Not because they are false, but because they are performed from an outdated identity. It is like trying to install new software on a device still running the old operating system. The signal glitches, the system cannot accept the command. Here at Quantum Aligned, our journey is to show you how to let God's quiet wisdom rewrite that code, not through striving, but through alignment of heart, mind, and spirit, so that your very being becomes the clear signal creation is already prepared to answer. So, how do we truly shift? First, you must notice the instant you slide back into the older self, the one who doubts, who pushes, who scans for signs instead of radiating trust in God's ever-present order. Most people never see this shift occur. It is subtle, a sigh, a shrinking, a hesitation. These micro-expressions are signals, small clues that you have stepped back into an identity the field of creation can no longer support. Here lies the paradox. Your new timeline cannot attach to your old self, and the quantum field, under divine orchestration, knows it. That is why it seems to withhold new outcomes from those still wearing expired identities. It is not punishment. It is preservation. The field protects coherence, the harmony built into creation itself. So what is the remedy? You do not change identity by forcing new beliefs. You become someone new by embodying a higher frequency so consistently that it is no longer an act. This is not pretense. It is vibrational rehearsal. You live as if until it becomes as is. Begin small. Sit in stillness, not to attract, but to observe. Sense the version of yourself who no longer chases. Breathe with that self. Walk like that self. Ask quietly, what would I no longer do if I truly believed I already was who I claimed to be? Then begin doing less of whatever does not belong. Your new identity is not a costume, not a mood board, not a temporary vibe. It is a frequency. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions align with that frequency, you stop asking for proof. You become the proof. You stop searching for a sign. You are the sign. In the next part of Quantum Aligned, we'll share a simple yet profound practice that gently rewires identity. It is a daily ritual that needs no hours, no props, no performance, only presence. It will help you transmit a clean signal from the core of your being. Because the quantum field, which operates within God's wisdom, does not need convincing. It needs you to be so coherent that it naturally reflects what you already are. When that shift occurs, everything begins to arrange itself around you, naturally, effortlessly, often instantly. There is a quiet, almost imperceptible moment when the change begins. You are no longer doing a ritual to get something. You are not speaking an affirmation to prove belief. You are simply being, not acting as if, just allowing yourself to embody what God has already made available in the field of creation. This is the sweet spot where the quantum field responds before you even realize you have changed. It requires no long hours, no elaborate script. It starts with a single transmission, clean, honest, and emotionally congruent. Here at Quantum Aligned, we call it the Coherence Pulse. It is a 90-second practice that realigns your identity signal with the timeline you choose. Here is how it works. Upon waking, before reaching for your phone, before scrolling, before consuming yesterday's noise through messages or headlines, sit. Eyes open or closed, it does not matter. What matters is that you transmit before you receive. Take a deep breath. On the exhale, imagine your chest expanding not only with air but with signal. You are not just breathing, you are sending. Now choose 3 words. Not affirmations of things you want to possess, but frequencies you want to live from, states you choose to be. For example, certain, open, magnetic, or peaceful, worthy, complete. Whisper them. Feel them. Let your body match them. Then imagine these frequencies radiating outward like a pulse. Not in a pleading way, not in a hopeful way, but in a knowing way. You are not asking. You are not convincing. You are simply declaring, this is who I am today. This is the signal I send. This is the self the field will meet. And here the shift unfolds. Most people finish a ritual and drift back to the old self. They perform alignment and then collapse into contraction. But with this pulse, you anchor a new identity before the world tells you who you are. You set the tone. You transmit the code. What follows is subtle but unmistakable. Your posture changes. Your breath slows. Decisions become clear. You say no without guilt. You say yes without fear. Because you are no longer responding to the old field built by yesterday's frequency. You are walking in a field created moment by moment under God's design, and you did not chase it. You became the signal it could not ignore. That is the true wonder. So here is your invitation. Practice this for 7 mornings. Before anyone else's energy touches yours, let this be your broadcast. And to anchor it even deeper, mark this moment right now. Comment below, I am the signal. Not because you want to manifest faster, but because you finally understand that the field never required effort. It only ever awaited coherence. In the next chapter of Quantum Aligned, we will explore what happens when you live from that coherence all day long. How to stay aligned through real-world moments, conversations, decisions, doubts, and distractions. Not by resisting them, but by becoming immune to their frequency. Because when you stop chasing, you start collapsing timelines. You have transmitted the signal. You have pulsed the field with coherence. For a time, perhaps 5 minutes, perhaps an hour, everything feels lighter, clearer, perfectly synced. Then something happens. A message stirs doubt. A delay tempts anxiety. An old situation pulls you back toward the self you have already chosen to outgrow. This is the real test, not of willpower, but of energetic stability. The quantum field does not test to punish. It reflects to reveal where the broadcast falters. And this is where most people unknowingly collapse back into their old timeline. But now you understand, this reflection is guidance. God's design of the field is showing you exactly where to strengthen the signal. Stay aware, stay coherent, and the new timeline will hold. Not because anyone failed, but because their inner frequency wasn't yet anchored deeply enough to remain steady when life pushed back. But what if holding that alignment required no force at all? What if real alignment is less about discipline and more about remembering who you truly are in the presence of the divine? The deeper reality is that you don't have to wrestle with old patterns. You only need to grow more consistent in the signal of the new self that God is already calling forth. Your frequency is maintained not by grand gestures, but through the small, silent agreements you make with yourself all day long. Micro decisions, subtle responses, and the emotional signatures you allow to guide you. Most people think transformation is about dramatic leaps, instant awakenings, lightning breakthroughs. But Quantum Aligned reminds us, timelines shift when your tiny choices stop contradicting the higher identity you're embodying. Imagine you receive a message that once would have made you tense. The old self would overthink, panic, or rush to fix. Instead, you pause. You breathe. You gently recall, I am the signal and God's presence sustains me. That single pause is not passive. It's a quantum recalibration. It tells the universe, I no longer react from fear or history. I now respond from alignment with the source. Another moment, you're tempted to hurry, to control, to chase. But you stop and ask, will the version of me who already lives in God's provision feel this urgency? If the answer is no, you slow down. You trust the pulse. You transmit instead of grab. These small choices build a new energetic posture, and posture is power. Because posture silently announces, I am safe enough to allow. I am certain enough to stop proving. I already embody what I once tried to become. And that is when timelines accelerate. Here's another layer. To stay coherent through the day, let your environment become a mirror of your frequency, not a constant test of it. This doesn't mean you avoid contrast or isolate yourself. It means you curate spaces, relationships, and inputs that strengthen your chosen state. Ask yourself, what music helps me remember the stillness of God? What scent or light reminds me that I am held in the present moment? Which 3 people in my life speak to the future I am growing into, not the past I've outgrown? And even more subtle, which thoughts no longer belong to the signal I now carry? Not because those thoughts are bad, but because they simply don't match the frequency of your higher self. This is what Quantum Aligned calls energetic hygiene, not obsession, but intentional stewardship of your vibration. And if you feel yourself slipping, you return to the breath, not merely to calm down, but to broadcast again. You whisper your 3 chosen words, you pulse again, you become the broadcaster once more. Because here's the deeper truth, you're not struggling to stay high vibe. You're practicing being unavailable for anything less than a state of trust in God's care. Over time, this is no longer a practice. It becomes your baseline. You grow emotionally immune to chaos, not numb, but anchored. Not robotic, but sovereign. And as you stay rooted, the field begins to bend. Circumstances arrange themselves. Paths open. Not because you forced anything, but because you remained still where you once would have flinched. You stayed open where you once would have braced. You stayed certain where you once would have questioned. That is how timelines shift. Now we arrive at the final understanding. Surrender is not weakness. It is the final phase of transmission. It's the quiet paradox of effortless manifestation. The moment you stop needing the result begins to need you. And here is the mystery. Manifestation at the quantum level doesn't happen because you perfect the technique. It happens when you no longer cling to the outcome, when your frequency is so whole, so magnetic, so attuned to the presence of the divine that the universe can only reflect it. This is where surrender begins, not the kind people mistake for defeat, where you give up or lower your standards. True surrender is a vibrational decision. It is when your being becomes so congruent with a higher intention that you stop monitoring timelines. You stop scanning for signs. You stop begging the universe to prove it's listening, because you are no longer separate from what you seek. Surrender here is not giving up. It is giving in to the now. It is leaning back into trust while still walking with precision. It is soft eyes with a sharp spirit. It is calm action without tension. And the irony? The instant you no longer need the thing begins to look for you. Why? Because the field responds to freedom. Not freedom from effort, but freedom from attachment. When you are no longer tangled in when or how or why not yet, your frequency becomes clear, potent, and inevitable. This is what many teachers call living in the wish fulfilled. Not waiting, not hoping, not chasing, but being now the version of you who no longer asks for it, because you already are the vibration of it. And in that moment, time collapses. Synchronicities align, doors swing open, messages arrive, ideas flow, and none of it feels like you made it happen, because in truth, you became it. That is the difference between performance and power, between force and flow, between trying and transmitting. And that is the invitation from Quantum Aligned to walk each day not as someone proving your worth, but as someone who knows you are already held in the infinite presence of God. Like and subscribe if this journey has resonated with you. And may your life continue to broadcast the signal that cannot be ignored. As you step away from this video, don't add another layer of effort. Let go of the noise. Take a slow, deep breath and exhale. Trust that what is truly meant for you in God's design needs no convincing. It only asks for your coherence. Let today be the day you stop pouring your energy into racing somewhere and start using it to become someone. The version of you who no longer performs for the world, but speaks the silent language of the divine with ease. When that shift happens, everything you once imagined begins to orbit you. Not because you chased it, but because you finally tuned your frequency to the eternal truth. You were it all along. If something stirred or resonated deep within while listening, that's the sign you're already in the shift and you're not alone. This isn't just a video. It's a frequency, a place where science meets soul and the signal grows stronger together. If this vibration feels like home, subscribe to Quantum Aligned, not merely for more content, but to join the movement you're already part of.